When my husband was offered a job in Kazakhstan, the first thing that you have to do is the people tell you the salary, then you have to figure out, can we afford to live there? So what you do is you go online and you research about properties and rentals and all things like that. And you do find a lot of websites in English because they're used to working with expats. So that bit's good. And then you're faced with, you don't know the location and you don't know, they'll put a number there, but you don't know what currency they're talking about. And you would think, oh, it's obvious. If it's Kazakhstan, it would be the local Kazakh currency. It's like, no. A lot of places quote in dollars when they're working with expats. I said, what has this got to do with you? This is about, I wrote a book called The Global House Hunt to help people who were in that situation looking for houses when they live somewhere completely different. And one of the reasons I wrote it is that it was clear to me that this was a tricky situation where the people who worked for the estate agency in the country that we were thinking of moving to, had no experience or awareness that other countries do things differently. And that's okay. And then there's expat side of things, and especially if you're a new expat, is that you may not know that every country is doing things differently, and you may not know much about it. So you're both in your own worlds. And the book was really to connect the two and just say, oh, this is what I figured out. They're going to have this information on the website, and it'll look really good. And then when you try to use it, you'll realize that there's lots of gaps. Like, you need to know the currency, you need to know the frequency, you need to be able to understand how to figure out the location. And the summary, although I'm telling you about the book, the goal is to tell you that sometimes you just want to write a book about something. And it isn't that I want to dedicate my whole career to talking about property. That was a profession that I did before. It's that I wanted it to exist. I wrote a book because I wanted the information to be out there and to exist. And if somebody finds it, great. And if it just exists, that's okay too. And you may be wondering about the book and the idea and the thing that you're feeling passionate about. Will other people buy it? Will other people this and that? It's like, you can't control that. I know that there are things that you can do with marketing, but do you want it to exist? Do you want to write the thing and say the thing and express yourself in that way? And that's it. That's it. It's kind of short and sweet. It isn't to sell the book unless you're somebody that wants to travel and rent places in other countries. Then yeah, it might be useful. It's kind of small audience. It's kind of the exact thing that they say don't do. Don't write a book unless you know that there's an audience that are wanting to pay for it. But I wrote it. I was happy I wrote it, and and it now exists. Okay, bye.